be the only politician in Iowa today. Does he plan to respond to Vice President Joe Biden's remarks that are expected later today? The former Vice President is expected to kind of lay into not only the President, but the administration and the events of the last 2 years. Will the President respond directly to Biden?
I'm not sure about that. We'll see what happens on that front, but I think Joe Biden has a lot of questions he needs to answer himself. The idea that he would say that the President poses any type of threat is truly laughable, considering he was part of the administration that allowed Russia to interfere in our election. He was part of the administration that allowed Iran to continue to flourish. They gave $1.8 billion to help fund Iran and their continued bad behavior. They allowed China to continue to grow, North Korea. If anything, I think he's got a lot of explaining to do, and I think that you guys should be asking him those questions. Certainly not the President, who's had unprecedented success in each of those areas and has actually been tough on combating the problems, particularly across the globe and on the foreign policy standpoint. Thanks, guys.
Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video clip I just showed you came out about 5 years ago, and as you've seen, you had Sarah Huckabee Sanders answering questions to the press about the way Trump was being criticized by then failed Vice President Joe Biden. Okay. I know in my title and my thumbnail, okay, I put down that Trump, had another assassination attempt, and I'm going to show you something that is making its way across the news as of yesterday. But it's something that happened not yesterday. It actually happened, I believe, about a week or two ago, and nobody has spoken about it, and I'm very surprised. Okay. And I'm not talking about what happened at Butler or what happened at the golf course, but actually, they keep saying that this, the incident that happened at the golf course, okay, was a second failed assassination attempt. But after doing some research, okay, and this is why a lot of people forget, and when I make my videos, I make them a little long. A lot of people told me you should make your videos shorter because people's attention spans are shorter, and I find that to be an insult, okay, to people that watch the news and stuff like that, the ones that care and get engaged. I find it to be an insult. That's why I do some of my videos a little long, because I try to make content for people to sit there and get a full scope of what's going on, not just a 15 or 20-minute segment. And don't get me wrong, I've said it once and I'll say it again. There are many, many good content creators, even if I don't agree with them, that they know how to put a lot of detail into a small segment. Okay, so I've always, said that, that's fine. I mean, they can do it. They got the means to do it. They know what they're doing. That's great. Me, on the other hand, I do it differently. Okay, so what I'm going to be showing you is a montage of some old video and the newer stuff, and there's going to be some stuff in it that a lot of people may or may not have heard, or think that, since it hasn't come out a lot, is probably some stories that are still unraveling. But they're actually not. There's actually some stuff going on that a lot of people, like I said, may not know about. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to try to get into it, but before I do that, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. And again, I'll be leaving a link to Loza Alexander's Gifts and Go campaign. If you guys can help out in any way by donating or even leaving them words of encouragement and prayer, like I said, is always greatly appreciated. Okay. Another thing is, I don't know if anybody's been noticing, but at the end of my videos, the past couple of videos, I've been leaving end screens and putting videos on there for you guys to click on. Those are videos that have a high retention rate, but for some odd reason, they're not being pushed out the way they should. So I'm asking people to just click on those videos at the end if you still want to watch content, if you have the time. like the video that I put out not last night, the night before, which I'll try to show you briefly if I have time, how high the retention rate is, and yet they didn't push it out as much as they should have. Okay, and the reason being, in my opinion, from what I'm noticing, the closer that we're getting to this election, there are a lot of Democrats that are in bad standing with their constituents. Case in point, like Brandon Johnson in Chicago. Before, when I used to put his content out, I mean, I was getting a lot of views. Now, as of late, the way things are going on, I'm not getting that many views. And the same thing is going on with whatever Trump content I'm putting out, Kamala Harris content I'm putting out, Joe Biden content I'm putting out. It's like, I guess they're trying to slow it down, even though so much information is coming out, and the left is looking more uglier than before, and the right is looking better, and there's more people leaving the left and, you know, airing their grievances of how disgusted they are, okay, and rightly so. That I just feel that, you know what, I find it hard to believe that more people are not interested. If anything, I think that more people need to know, and that's why a lot of headway is being made to help a lot of people on the left that are fed up with Democrat policies and liberal policies, that they're able to push back. But I don't think that the powers that be are appreciating it, and not just from me. I'm talking from other content creators also. But listen, in a country where our first laws are the laws of the Constitution, freedom of speech and telling the truth should always be key. Okay, but with the left is not. Okay, they want to keep repeating a how can I say, a deranged chant in order to make people believe something that's not true, and then say that that's okay regardless of how they react towards others. Okay, and a lot of people always say on the left that the reason why a lot of these things are happening is because they're fed up with the rhetoric from the right. But yet, I have yet to see anything that holds water that shows people on the right, okay, attacking people on the left, okay, viciously. Okay, and not that I want to see it. I think that at the end of the day, cooler heads will prevail, and I think that what a lot of people on the right are doing is the right thing. They're holding their cool. Okay, I wasn't able to find one of the videos, okay, that I wanted to show, but I'm gonna start it with this. If anybody remembers, I believe it was Stephen Scalise, okay, that the Democrats and Republicans, they had a softball game a few years ago, and if anybody remembers, some deranged Hillary Clinton, I believe, voter went and tried to assassinate Republicans, and Scalise was the one that got shot bad. So let's go back to that time so people can remember, okay, of how the rhetoric of the left gets people shot and or killed. Okay, and this is not me trying to blow a dog whistle. This is not me trying to piss people off. This is me just putting out facts, because I've noticed that a lot of leftist content creators on social media platforms, they are allowed to lie and put and edit so much disinformation and get away with it. I just feel that, you know what, if I'm going to put out the information, it's going to be the truth, so people can see more and more, because supposedly, like I mentioned before, everybody's attention span is short, so they say, okay? But I know for a fact that whoever's on my channel, you're here for a reason, because your attention spans are not short, okay? And I've noticed that a lot of people have been watching my content and leaving messages, and it almost seems like some of them are kind of on the fence, okay, with some of the emails I get. So I guess this would be a way for me to show, okay, I'm going to give you a little more, a little more proof, okay, some information, in other words, some receipts. I'm going to show you some receipts, and when you email me back, we can keep on with our discussion, and then you let me know how you feel, how the party that you're voting for is the party of that's supposed to be on the right side of history, and how the Republicans, the conservatives, and Donald Trump and the MAGA movement, how we're so bad. Okay, so with all that being said, let's get to the first video clip. Here we go.
You're president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters.
The vast majority
Oh, that wasn't me, folks.
of the protests have been peaceful.
Republicans stand for law and order, and we stand for justice.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
My administration will always stand against violence, mayhem, and disorder.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
I stand with the heroes of law enforcement.
And you push back on them, and you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
We will never defund our police. Together, we will ensure that America is a nation of law and order.
In high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
But I think you need to go back and punch him in the face. Feel like punching him.
We just want law and order. Everybody wants that. I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. We want law and order. We have to have law and order.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
We believe in safe streets, secure communities, and we believe in law and order.
Okay, that was the first one. Okay, so this goes back 3 or 4 years. Okay, you hear it from the Democrats, and it hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. Even after at Butler, Pennsylvania, when Crooks took a shot, okay, at Trump, okay, and wound up killing somebody and wounding others, okay, not even 24 hours, 48 hours later, the Democrats were back at it, and the mainstream media was back at it, and they have not pumped the brakes since then, even with, okay, what happened this past Sunday, okay, where they caught somebody else. Now, there's some rumors going around. I'm going to play a video real quick of some of the rumors going around, okay, that supposedly that kid Crooks and that new guy, Ruth, I believe how they pronounce his name, were supposedly in BlackRock commercials, okay? So I'm going to show that video, and you guys can make up your mind. And like I'm going to put all this together, okay? If anybody knows my content, you know when I do some of these videos long, there's always a meaning to what I'm putting together. Okay, so bear with me, but let's get to the next video. Here we go.
Authorities named 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Routh as the suspect in the apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. Soon after, authorities identified him. Viral social media posts claimed Routh appeared in a commercial for global investment firm BlackRock. So, let's verify. Was Ryan Routh in a BlackRock ad? Our sources are BlackRock, the Associated Press, and a reverse image search using Invid and Revi. A BlackRock spokesperson told Verify the claim is, quote, completely false. Verify conducted a reverse image search on the viral video, which led us to this May 2022 video. The video is not an ad for BlackRock. Instead, it's actually a rally showing support for Mariupol, a Ukrainian city that was one of the earliest targets of Russia's invasion. Routh is shown in the video wearing a blue jacket and American flag scarf. A reverse image search also led us to this AP photo taken on April 30th, 2022, showing Routh in the same clothes at a rally in Kyiv. So, no, Ryan Routh was not in a BlackRock advertisement. This isn't the first time BlackRock has been tied to an attempted assassination of Trump. Thomas Crooks, the 20-year-old man accused of trying to shoot Trump in July, did appear in the 2022 BlackRock ad. The ad was filmed at Crooks' school, and though he's in the ad, he was not paid, nor was he hired as an actor for the company, according to a CBS News report. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Okay, so that was a short clip, but you've seen that, okay? Now, me personally, I'm taking all this information with a grain of salt. Okay, I'm not trying to make this video to prove that these two guys that try to take Trump out are how can I say, I don't know, agents for BlackRock. Okay, to tell you the truth, like I said, I'm taking it all with a grain of salt because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at stuff like this and be like, you know what, something's got to be up here. Okay, and I was one of the first ones, okay, that I do believe that there is something amiss, especially when you heard what the man said, that the three people that fact-checked it was BlackRock, AP, okay, Associated Press, which we all know they're not, you know, they're not the best outlet out there to give fact-checking of anything like that, and some other group. I don't even know. I'd never heard of that group or anything like that. But what's the coincidence, okay, that two people who have been in the media, okay, or have been in video, I should say, okay, protesting, or whatever the case is, one protesting, the other one, who knows what they were teaching them in school, happened to both be so very upset with Donald Trump, and for two people to be so financially broke that they will have the means and the weapons to go and try to carry out an assassination against Trump. Okay? Now, as we speak right now, the left-wing media, they are trying to turn this around, and because Trump came out and said, and a lot of people are saying that a lot of the rhetoric from the left is causing people to want to lash out. Okay? And they're like, no, you know, that's not the case. Is the people on the right, they're the ones, Trump is doing it, he's causing these problems, this and that, whatever the case is. But we all know how they're going to spin that around no matter what. As a matter of fact, what's that woman's name? The press secretary, Peter Doocy, brought this up to her, okay? And she first started saying that no, they're going to tone everything down, that, you know, that's not what they're all about. But literally within the next minute of her next sentence, okay, when she started her next sentence, I should say, she came out and said it again, that Trump is a threat to democracy. Didn't even give Peter Doocy 5 minutes, okay, after her saying that no, we have, you know, we're not trying to do this, we are trying to tone down the rhetoric, but she comes out and says it again. Okay? And this is the way it's been since day one that Donald Trump came down that escalator. Okay? And these two attempts are not the only two. Okay? Lest people forget. I'm going to start showing the videos. Stay with me. Here we go. Okay, this is going to be the first video. If anybody remembers, this was 8 years ago.
So folks, here's what happens. I will call up Kerry, the president. I guess I have to do it myself. I know it's not.
In case anybody remembers, this was actually the very first time somebody tried to attack him, and it turned out to be some Hollywood actor, okay, in his early 20s, okay, and I believe that he's probably still locked up in prison. So this was the first time, okay, 8 years ago, okay, and that, well, this video came out 8 years ago, so it might have been around that time, or maybe a little earlier than that, but this was right after Trump became president. But remember, the Democrats started with all the rhetoric the very first day he came down the escalator to announce that he was going to run for president. Okay? They started with the rhetoric. This was the first attempt. The second attempt, okay, was what happened at Butler. Okay, I don't have to show that video. It's still fresh in our minds. I showed it before. But that was the second attempt. Okay? Now I'm going to show you the third attempt that a lot of people don't talk about. Here we go. And just to put a little context into this, this was in Arizona. Okay, supposedly I think it was Arizona or maybe in Pennsylvania again. But the first one was in Ohio. The second one was in Pennsylvania. The third one was in Pennsylvania again. Okay, Jonestown. The fourth one in Florida. I believe this one's in Arizona. But this time, innocent people, okay, got hurt and are still suffering. Check this out.
And Donald Trump that were allowed to sit behind his stage at his Tucson rally last week tell the News 4 Tucson investigators they left with mysterious injuries to their eyes. News 4 Tucson's chief investigative reporter Course Nylander is live outside the Tucson Music Hall downtown. Course, what are we learning about their situation?
Yeah, well, Monica, this is where thousands of people came out to hear former President Donald Trump speak last week. There was a group of 48 people allowed to sit on stage behind Trump throughout the event. They were split into two groups on each side of the stage.
Now keep that in mind, what he's saying. I'm going to go back. Okay, people? I'm going to go back to this. Listen to what he says.
Groups on each side of the stage. One side seemed to walk away without any issues, but multiple people seated near each other on the other side tell me that they had to go to the emergency room after they left the event. Here tonight, for the first time, the Trump campaign is confirming that they're investigating this situation.
No taxes on Social Security benefits for our seniors.
More than two.
So this happened Thursday. Okay, now it was either last Thursday or the Thursday before. But this happened, and then the incident happened on Sunday.
2,000 people filled up the Tucson Music Hall Thursday to hear Donald Trump's first speech in Tucson this campaign as Election Day nears. Some of his biggest supporters were allowed to sit behind him on stage. Supporters like Myra Rodriguez, a former director of Planned Parenthood with a notable shift to being pro-life. In 2016, she sat behind presidential candidate Hillary Clinton on stage at an event. Now she supports Donald Trump.
Okay, did you guys catch that? Did you catch who the person is, okay, that was seated behind him? I'm going to go back just a little bit so you guys can hear it again. And this is why I said people could take this with a grain of salt. Me, I don't wear a tinfoil hat, okay? I look at things like I've been saying it since I started my channel. I look way out the box. I think way out the box, okay? Way out the box. I'm talking the box I think out of fell off the damn truck, rolled down the hill, got hit by another truck, flew across the damn county, and then I pop out and start thinking outside the box. That's the way I do it. Because there is, I don't truly believe in coincidences. Okay? Do I believe coincidences happen? Yes. But you have to look at certain things and say, even if you, because if the shoe was on the other foot, okay, and all these things were happening to somebody that I didn't vote for, I'd have to look at it and seriously shut my mouth and say, something's not right here. Okay? I'm going to play it again. Here we go. Sorry. Let me go back.
Some of his biggest supporters were allowed to sit behind him on stage. Supporters like Myra Rodriguez, a former director of Planned Parenthood with a notable shift to being pro-life. In 2016, she sat behind presidential candidate Hillary Clinton on stage at an event. Now she supports Donald Trump. She enjoyed the rally, but once she left, everything changed.
As soon as we left and I stepped outside, I started feeling like my eyes were burning.
At first, she thought it might be allergies. She lives near Phoenix. By the time she got home, it was so bad she decided to go to the emergency room.
The emergency room staff keeps saying, from the triage nurse to the PA, and are you sure you don't get spray anything? Your symptoms look like you were sprayed something.
The News 4 Tucson investigators spoke to her the morning after the rally, Friday last week. That morning, she was nearly blind.
I can't see anything. When I try to open my eyes, it's like a white cloud covered. It hurts. It hurts a lot to open my eyes. I have this cold cloth that I put on and I take off all the time. But this is horrible.
She says the doctors weren't able to determine what exactly caused it. Her initial thought of allergies went out the window when she heard from several others seated next to her at the rally that also ended up seeking medical attention with the same symptoms.
Kept getting worse and worse. My eyes started watering a lot. My nose started running. Then I started feeling my face get really flushed, and then my neck felt like it was on fire. And it just progressed from there.
This Tucson woman, who doesn't want to be identified, was seated in the same area behind Trump with her brother. Both walked away with eye injuries and sought medical attention.
I was all focused on my eyes. I mean, my eyes were red like hell, you know? I mean, it's like, it just like unbearable. You just couldn't, I couldn't handle it. I just couldn't handle it.
Whatever caused it seems to be isolated to the group seated on stage right, former Congressional District 6.
Okay, you guys catch that? Whatever it was focused on the people, okay, on this side of the stage. Most of the time, okay, now I don't know which way Trump came, but, and I can't really see on this side because it's dark, but here's Secret Service, so I would have to assume that this is the way Trump's going to go in and out. And yet people on this side are suffering from some sort of, dare I say, chemical attack? Something?
Right, former Congressional District 6 candidate Kathleen Wynne was seated on the opposite side of the stage and says she and everyone she knows seated near her walked away without any issues.
We hope that there's no nefarious actors in this and that this is not a strategic hit for those that are supporting Donald Trump.
Myra reported her injuries to the Trump campaign and says she was told it was being investigated. Myra feels it's crucial for people to be made aware of what happened and what could have caused her injuries.
Obviously, what I would like is an investigation, right? That whoever, that this does not get away with it.
I don't want to be very clear. We do not know at this point if a person caused any of this or what exactly the cause could be. We can only speculate at this point, but that apparently is what the Trump campaign is trying to get to the bottom to at this point. Less than an hour ago, the Trump campaign senior advisor Danielle Alvarez sent us a statement reading, quote, "The Trump campaign has been collecting information. We remain committed to the countless patriots that attend our high-energy, high-impact rallies across the country." I did also speak with the United States Secret Service. They tell me they were not informed of any of this and only learned about it when I called them, but they said there was no known threat to President Trump during his event here in Tucson last week. We'll update you as we get more.
Okay, so now you hear that. So I don't know if anybody's heard of this information the past, not even 24 hours, but that came out. So they put down on their title, 4th attempt on Trump. But I just showed you the first one, so technically this will be 5. Okay. Some people may say, well, maybe there was something sprayed in the air that, you know, that they all shared. Who knows what it is? It's a possibility. But what exactly is it that is making these people that started burning their eyes, their throats and all that? They got to stay in the dark. They got to keep their eyes closed. It sounds like something that, although very harmful, that we know of so far, not deadly, but something to put somebody out of commission. Okay? Now, one of my questions will be this. Are they going to keep up on the progress, on the health of these people? If yes, we need to find out how long whatever it is that they're suffering from is going to last. Because now I'm curious. Now I'm curious to find out, even though it just happened, but if this was put out yesterday, this happened last Thursday, obviously it's been, what, a week now? Almost a week? And yet no updates on their health. Keep that in mind, people. Who knows? It might be something that disappears in the next day or two. They find out what it is. Maybe it was some chemical lingering in the air, okay, inside that arena or whatever the case is. Or they're going to say that they're still investigating, which means that, you know what? Something did happen. And once again, Secret Service, I got to say it, failed. That's the way I gotta say it. Until we can find out otherwise, that's the way I gotta say it. Okay? So fast forward from that, then you have Sunday, what happened, and you would think that the Democrats would, like, slow it down. But they won't. Okay? They won't. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we go.
Amazing work on this issue. Yes, yes, woman in the black dress.
If the House CR fails tomorrow on the Save Out attack, what is your timeline for moving on the Senate version of the CR? And
Look, the way to get this done is bipartisan, bicameral. We've told that to Speaker Johnson, as we told it to Speaker McCarthy before, and we hope after this vote he will sit down and negotiate a bipartisan, bicameral bill. Yes, Manu.
Former President Trump's allies have blamed Democratic rhetoric for leading to these repeated assassination attempts and calling him a threat to democracy. So given that, will you stop calling him a threat to democracy?
The bottom line is that our Democratic Senate has drawn very clearly the differences between the Republican Party, Donald Trump, and what we believe in. We're going to continue to do that. Yes.
So basically, the answer to that is no. They're not going to stop with the rhetoric. Okay? They're not. Okay? Now, I don't know if it's me. I'm going to say a little more, but I'm going to go back. Look at the look on this man's face after he answers the question.
Believe in. We're going to continue to do that. Yes.
Senator Schumer, do you believe this?
Okay? His eyes say it all. Okay? I've said it once, I'll say it again. Chuck Schumer is a damn snake. He is a snake of a man. I mean, if he is not the king of the den of vipers in the Democrat Party, I don't know who is. Okay? But basically, the reporter asked, is the Democrat Party going to tone it down? And basically, the way he answered, the answer is no. Because they think that Trump is an existential threat to their democracy, not democracy, what they consider democracy. Okay? They continue with the lies. They belittle Trump on stage. During the debates, they belittled him. Kamala Harris just lied and lied and lied so much, and she was not fact-checked, okay, that supposedly, don't know if it's true or not, but the two moderators, they're in trouble. Okay, supposedly there's talk about pushing for CBS to lose their license. Okay, supposedly that guy was supposed to lose his job. That moderator, I don't remember his name. They know that the woman that was moderating is actually a sorority sister to Kamala Harris. How convenient. Okay, so not only do they not push back on the rhetoric, not only will they say they're going to stop the rhetoric, they get people to go and add to more of the rhetoric and try to make Trump look bad. Okay? It's just nonstop. But yet they say that the MAGA Republicans that support Trump, the patriots of this country, okay, that love this country, are the threat, are the existential threat, the threat to democracy. Okay? And I'm going to show you one, someone from the left, okay, that just proves that, you know what, the people on the left, a lot of them, they've really got a problem. There is something mental going on up in their head. And then the last clip I'm going to show you, the next two clips are very short. There's this man who put out some content. I'm going to show you a clip that he put out that once again proves that Trump was right. And he was right on the debate stage with when he was debating Kamala Harris about abortion in this country. Okay, let's get to it. Here we go. Okay, I've seen video of people out there who are advocating against abortion, okay, and being attacked by people on the left. And you'll see it all over the mainstream media. How they call these people that are against abortion like agitators and stuff like that, and the people that attack them, they don't say anything about it. Here's this guy out in the street, okay, who's trying to convince people that Thomas Crooks, okay, is an American hero. And this goes to show you, and I find it hard for one thing that he said, because there's only one or two answers to it. Number one, he really doesn't know, because he's getting his information from sources that won't say the truth, or he is just like the rest on the left, that they don't care. They'll just say what they want that makes them feel good. I'll point it out. Check this out.
We got a poster here. So did you make the poster?
I did make the poster.
And you printed it?
I had a store printed for me, and I got it laminated. It cost me years.
Are you just making the statement to the convention goers?
No, I mean, this isn't a joke or anything like that. I truly do believe that he is, in some sense, an American hero. His altercation with the former president was a tragedy. He didn't kill anybody, so let's make that clear first.
Okay, did you guys catch that? I'll play it again.
Let's make that clear first.
I'm sorry, let me go back.
It was a tragedy. He didn't kill anybody, so let's make that clear first.
Okay. He says he didn't kill anybody, and then the other guy says, but he did try to, and then he responds, yes, he did try to. Yes, he did kill somebody. Okay? If anybody, I mean, I know you guys won't forget, but when I seen this video and I listen to this man, I'm like, what the hell do you mean he didn't kill anybody? Of course he did kill somebody. Compatory. Okay? So even if he didn't kill him, in his eyes, he thinks that Crooks is a hero. Okay? And you're going to hear what he says, why he thinks he's a hero, and this kind of mindset, okay, could only be attributed to the way the left keep feeding this rhetoric into people's minds. And when you get people that are soft-minded, you'll get people like this man that'll come out and do something quietly out in the street. Obviously, he doesn't seem like a threat. And then you'll get people like Crooks and Ruth and the guy in the first video that tried to attack the stage, and the guy in the third video that I showed you that tried to attack the stage. You'll get people like that. But yet, the left keeps saying that it's people on the right that are doing things like this. Pay attention to what else he has to say.
He did, but that's not what made him an American hero, though.
But him trying to assassinate him.
That's not what made him an American hero. This man, I believe he had a very strong, good judgment on character, on who should. On why this country was founded by free people, on free thinking principles, and it was never designed to run via some type of monarchy or some type of authoritarian rule. And I believe he saw that in something. And
okay, he just said that he feels because this country wasn't supposed to run on a monarchy or authoritarian rule. How many times have we heard the left use those words? Always bashing Trump, saying that he wants to rule like an authoritarian. Okay? Took some of his words out of context when he had the town hall meeting with Sean Hannity about being a dictator for the first day, and then he's going back to be the president. Now they keep pushing the rhetoric that he says that he's going to be a dictator. But they won't finish a sentence and say he only said he'd do it on the first day as a joke. No, they're trying to tell people that he's going to be a dictator from the moment he gets in for the 4 years that he's president. And again, they've used the term authoritarian against Trump every single freaking time. And now he's using these words thinking that what Crooks did is a hero. Because what he was probably, in his eyes, what he thinks that what Crooks was trying to do was trying to stand up, okay, for whatever so-called American values he thinks that he was standing up for. Who thinks like that? Oh, that's right. People on the left. Okay? The people on the left.
So is that so other people should do the same thing?
No, other people should not do that. Other people should not do the same thing. I'm just saying, watch.
But shouldn't heroes be people that we emulate, that we look up to, that we also act like? And so it says American hero. But he took a gun to a peaceful rally and shot at a person running for office, attempting to.
I'm not saying that's what made him an American hero, though.
Well, what else would make him?
That's what made him wrong.
Isn't that the act that made him?
What made him an American hero was he stood up to a dictator.
I didn't mean to cut it off so quick, but I'll play it again.
Hero was he stood up to a dictatorship.
Okay, what made him an American hero was that he stood up to a dictatorship. Once again, the left using that term, saying that Trump is going to be a dictator. So this poor guy, you could tell he doesn't seem like a harmful person. He actually seems like somebody that, in my opinion, that's very soft-minded. Okay? And confused. Because he has on the billboard, I'll go back, and then I'll try to pause it, and let me see if I can, if it'll show. Okay? Let me go back a little bit. I believe it says it on the poster when he shows it. Let me see if I can do this right. Right here. He's in the bottom, an American hero. But he's saying he doesn't think he's an American hero, but he thinks what he's done, what he did, I guess in his mind, is like being an American hero, because the guy is, he feels that Crooks was against monarchy, authoritarianism, he went against a dictatorship. Who uses that kind of rhetoric? The left. Okay? And yet the left thinks that the reason why, and they're trying to spin the narrative on the news, that the reason why Trump is being attacked so much is because of Trump's rhetoric. Okay? How? Because he says what he wants to say? Meanwhile, you hear Trump time and time again when he refers to Americans, he doesn't refer to the Democrat voters as not being American. The only ones he goes after are the Democrat politicians and or some psychotic leftist voters that commit crimes. He does not go after all Democrat Americans the way Joe Biden calls, the way Hillary Clinton called Trump supporters deplorables. Okay? The way Biden calls Trump and MAGA Republicans, meaning us. Okay? So they're referring to the people and Donald Trump. But yet they're saying it's his rhetoric, his lies. Okay? That bring all this about. Now the last video clip I'm going to show you is real quick. And it was the question, one of the questions at the debate that was asked, and then Trump came out and said that he's against abortion because the left wants to, after babies are born, they're more than willing to basically abort the babies after the babies are born. And Kamala Harris said no. Everybody's been saying no. I for myself seen it when that senator, or whoever it was, governor, mayor in Virginia, whatever the case was, I believe, when he signed the bill. I've seen the video myself, okay, when it came out, that when he was asked the question, what happens after the baby's born, and when he came out and said that they'll put the baby, make the baby comfortable, and then the doctor and the mother will have a conversation and find out what's the best alternative for the baby. So that in itself right there is called what? Infanticide. So it is the damn truth. But let me show you this next quick YouTube short so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Here we go. This YouTube short was put out by someone called Shemaine, I believe. Listen to what this man has to say.
Lindsay Davis, shame on you. Lindsay Davis, the moderator last night, challenged President Trump when he made the assertion that babies are born alive and their lives taken. There's about 50,000 abortions every year after the 15th week and about 20,000 after the 20th week. But also, when he raised the issue about Waltz, He did sign a bill in 2023 that took away the protections for a baby if they made it and survived an abortion. In that case, there has now been 8 children that have survived an abortion. 5 have died, laying there on that tray, breathing their last breath. Folks, that is infanticide. And I would just ask ABC News to retract that statement, to make an apology, and please, for those journalists, to stop lying about this issue of abortion.
There you go. Okay, and I just happened to come across this because this has been a big topic about when Trump was on that debate stage. He was pointing things out and he was being fact-checked every single time. Kamala Harris was not fact-checked once. And this woman right here is her sorority sister that was one of the moderators. You know, the left keeps talking about that they are the party of love, of acceptance, okay? That they're on the right side of history. And I've said it before about that one Joe Rogan YouTube short with that young black guy, okay, that basically said that the Democrat Party is the party of death. Okay? All you hear, and I don't care what any leftist has to say, okay? Have I seen some Republican politicians pushing back? Yes, I have. But in the beginning of the video, I showed you that little montage that was put up by Forbes, mind you, of Maxine Waters, Hakeem Jeffries, not Hakeem Jeffries, was it Hakeem? No, not Hakeem. Maxine Waters, Chuck Schumer, what's the other idiot from Jersey? Spartacus, they call him his nickname. Okay, how they're so viciously telling people on the left to go after people on the right, and yet lie about certain things like abortion. So now you got a guy like Tim Walz that wants to be the vice president. He is siding with Planned Parenthood, okay, passing bills, okay, as of last year for abortion, while at the same time signing bills to put tampons in boys' bathrooms. So kill off the babies, destroy little boys and girls' mental stability, tell people on the left, go and attack whenever there's a riot, like back in 2020, 2021, where cities around the country were being burned down by Antifa and Black Lives Matter. What is it? It's all death. It's all destruction. But yet, they're saying that the 5 attempts that I showed you, let's say 4.5, because until we get the information on what happened at that rally in Tucson, Arizona, where people's eyes are getting, feeling like they're burning and whatever the case is, let's call it 4.5 attempts. Okay? And yet, there was somebody on Twitter, I believe it was, that put out a comment and said, you got all these attacks on Trump, and yet no attacks on Biden. The left is going crazy over that comment. What he was trying to say was that if this was all political, why is there only attacks on Trump and no attacks from, I guess, the people on the right on Biden? It's a valid point. It's an honest question. Not that I'm advocating for it, not that anybody should advocate for it, but if this is so politically, how can I say, if these are political attacks from the two parties, okay, why is it that everything that we keep seeing is always attacks from the left, but yet the left says that it's not their fault, it's Trump's fault? Okay? And when it comes to January 6th, they keep lying and lying and lying. Okay? Even Kamala lied, okay, during the debate, saying that police officers were killed when that is a lie. No police officer got killed on January 6th. Now, if anybody knows me, I'm against war. I'm against any kind of physical violence, anything like that. So I'm not trying to blow a dog whistle. I am just trying to remind people and show people that, you know what, if the left could keep coming out with these lies and putting out all this rhetoric, it's up to us to go and point it out, to start showing people that it ain't us, it's them. It's not us attacking, it's them. Is there a possibility of people on the right attacking? Yes. But look at the scale of the attacks that are coming from people on the left, from politicians on the left, okay? And yet they want everyone, not just on both sides, but in the middle and around the world, to think that no, the left, the powers that be, what they're doing, that they're on the right side of history, that they're guiding people to be on the right side of history. You know, if it was the Middle Ages, okay, maybe that might fly, okay? Or maybe in the Middle Ages they'll be like, you know what, even that's too much for us to deal with, because it's just non-stop. And this is just a topic on this. Never mind all the new information that's coming out with the illegal migrants, okay, that now the Venezuelans, okay, they're out in El Paso, Texas. Now news is coming out that the Chileans that have been coming into America, okay, that supposedly Trump didn't want to do dealings with letting people in from Chile, are amping up their home invasions, their crimes. But I did a video about 6-7 months ago, okay, that AOC went to Chile to talk to them about their about the structure of their populace. But yet you got people that are being led here by the Biden administration from Chile, and people in California are getting their homes once again invaded and robbed. And all because they're giving them one thing: tourist visas. Can't make this up. So they're coming here on tourist visas just to rob and steal. They sell the merchandise, send the money back home, so like that when they go back, if they don't get caught, they don't have any property on them. But all the money's gone. It's already sent back home to Chile. And who is Chile run by? You guessed it. If anybody wants to put the words out in the comment, but a socialist. Okay? Their socialist agenda is rampant. But if somebody brings it up, if Trump brings it up, no, that's crazy. You're talking like a dictator. You're talking like a fascist. You're just saying that because you're racist. Because that's all they do. And it doesn't stop. So no matter how much people try to fact check, why does it always end up, okay, that, and I'll be honest, can some things that Trump say a little over exaggerated? Yes. Is it a lie though? No. Everything that's been coming out the leftist mouth are lies. You don't have to worry about the exaggeration. The hell with the exaggeration. Okay? You can exaggerate and still be telling the truth. But when you lie, there's no exaggeration. It's just a straight out lie. And that's how they operate. Okay? But this is what's going on. And as we speak, as I'm making this video, okay, there is so much that the mainstream media is putting out, especially MSNBC. I'm not going to have time to make a video on it, but you need to see the propaganda they've been putting out since Sunday, as of up until today so far. It is horrendous. It is strictly horrendous. And now they're going after, I don't remember the guy's name, but he's from North Carolina. Black, big guy, pastor. Okay? It's horrendous and it's disgusting what they're putting out. And if you ask me, it's another smear campaign because he's running for certain offices in North Carolina. Okay? And he's been very outspoken to be a Trump supporter and that he puts God first. Okay? Above all. And what they're putting out is just, if it turns out to be a lie, which I'm almost certain it is just so damn despicable that if MSNBC doesn't get fact checked, or if they do and they don't put out the apologies, whatever the case is, I truly believe that the MSNBC needs to have their license revoked. They need to be shut down. Because if it turns out to be a lie, okay, if they start coming out with their talking points like, well, these are sources, because some of the stuff I've already seen, that's how they're starting their propaganda, putting out this story about that gentleman. It's already about sources say. And it's disgusting. But I'll leave it at that. I'll digress on that. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you could help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. And I'm leaving a link in the description to Aloza Alexander's Gifts and Go campaign. If you guys can help out in any way, and even leave words of prayer and encouragement, it's all greatly appreciated. Again, if you guys can go back to last night's content and watch that, or some of the other content, help get the algorithm up, so that it will see, the algorithm, that yes, Trump is very supported and very loved in America, and a lot of people are waking up and leaving, okay, the Demon Rat Party. So remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for the women and the children, pray for this country, pray for your enemies, pray for Donald Trump, and don't forget to get out there and vote. Peace.